This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, The DEMS Take Another Swipe at Right to Work. Presidential candidate Senator Kamala Harris, a Democrat of California, recently raised eyebrows by calling for a federal ban on right-to-work laws in the United States. By doing so, she was pandering to American unions to support her candidacy. Other Democrat candidates will likely follow suit, as they do every 4 years, and by doing so, right-to-work laws are once again becoming a campaign issue. Unfortunately, many people still do not understand what's at stake here. Right to work simply means a union cannot get a worker fired for not paying union dues. It also means joining a union is voluntary, not compulsory, as you will find in a closed shop. Such laws started in the South and West, but are now moving north, with Kentucky becoming the 26th in 2017. Wisconsin the 25th in 2015, Michigan the 24th in 2012, and Indiana the 23rd in 2012. Right-to-work laws weaken the strength of unions. To illustrate, Boeing's North Charleston plant employs about 7,500 workers to build fuselages for 747s and 787s. In 2015, the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers tried to build support to unionize 3,175 production and maintenance workers. The effort was called off as workers wouldn't embrace the union. Boeing constructed the plant in South Carolina after several battles with unions at its Washington plant. According to a February 2011 study by the Economic Policy Institute, the drawbacks to right to work include wages in right-to-work states are 3.2% lower than those in non-right-to-work states. The rate of employer-sponsored health insurance is 2.6 percentage points lower in right-to-work states. The rate of employer-sponsored pensions is 4.8 percentage points lower in right-to-work states. However, it should be remembered that the cost of living in right-to-work states is less than non-right-to-work states. Further, an article in the Wall Street Journal titled, An Inspiration and a Warning from Michigan, December 14, 2012, claims that between 1980 and 2011, total employment in right-to-work states grew by 71%, while employment in non-right-to-work states grew only 32%. Sadly, employment in Michigan increased just 14% during that time. Since 2001, right-to-work states added 3.5% more jobs, while other states decreased by 2.6%. Similarly, inflation-adjusted compensation grew 12% in right-to-work states, but just 3% in the others. Beyond this, right-to-work is an important indicator of a state's prosperity. To illustrate, according to a report from the Mercatus Center at George Mason University, it appears financial success in state governments is not by accident. The Mercatus report examined the financial stability of the 50 states plus Puerto Rico and Guam. The report considered debt and financial obligations as well as state pension programs and health care benefits. Of the top 10 states, all had adopted right-to-work legislation. That includes number 1, Nebraska, number 2, South Dakota, number 3, Tennessee, number 4, Florida, number 5, Oklahoma, number 6, Wyoming, number 7, Idaho, number 8, Utah, number 9, North Carolina, and number 10, Nevada. Of the bottom 10 states in the study, with the exception of Kentucky, which just adopted right-to-work legislation in 2017, none supported right to work. That includes number 41, New York, number 42, California, number 43, West Virginia, number 44, Delaware, number 45, New Mexico, number 46, Kentucky, number 47, Massachusetts, number 48, New Jersey, number 49, Connecticut, and number 50, Illinois. In another article, I discovered the states reporting the highest levels of worker engagement, meaning the employees are motivated and self-starting, were primarily in the South, and the lowest were in the Northeast and Midwest. Again, in this instance, the South includes right-to-work states, and the Northeast and Midwest are under union control. Time and again, right-to-work is somehow related to prosperity. Coincidence? I don't believe so. Bottom line, it comes down to whether or not you believe trade unions serve the best interests of their constituents. With the passing of Kentucky's right-to-work legislation, there are now more states interested in providing work for their people as opposed to trusting the unions. As an aside, the territory of Guam has right-to-work laws, as does the federal government. Participation in unions is strictly voluntary. In the upcoming presidential election, you will not hear a Democrat candidate openly support right-to-work legislation, as they need union votes to get elected. However, the day is not far away when living in a non-right-to-work state will be considered a political liability as opposed to an asset. Therefore, Senator Harris's attack on right-to-work was to be expected. After all, she is not a Republican. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.